What's up YouTube, I'm Thire from YoreMTG, and today I'm gonna rank my top 5 cards from Battle for Zendikar, so let's tango. See what I did there? Tango, because the lands. So, before we begin, I want to make sure you guys notice that this list does not contain either the dual lands, the tango lands, the whatever lands, the battle lands, the Zendikar duels, you get it. And no planeswalkers, because we all know those are extremely overpowered. Or not overpowered, but they're good. They're really, really good, especially Gideon. So those are not going to be on this list. It's going to be my, like, underrated cards maybe? I don't know, but let's start with some honorable mentions. So my first honorable mention is Scattered to the Winds. The counterspell, as you can see on the screen right here. This is a great counterspell. Because you should see it not as it costs 6 and you get 3/3 and you counter a spell, but as the 3/3 is like a bonus, because later in the game you might not want to counter everything or something, and you can just get a 3/3 out of it, so that's always good. Second honorable mention is Wasteland Strangler. I think this is a great card. It has huge potential for standard, and people are just underrating how good of ability -3/-3 is. So yeah, especially if you can blink that and then you have cards in exile that your opponent control, that's just great. So next honorable mention is Mortuary Mire and Fertile Thicket. Great, fantastic common lands. So what this is with Mortuary Mire you put a card from your graveyard on top of your library. And with Fertile Thicket, you can look at the top 5 cards and you can pick like a basic land and put it on top or something. These are fantastic. These are gonna at least be a 1 of in every 3 color deck, I think. These lands are just absolutely awesome. Imagine getting a Siege Rhino back on top of your library. And you can keep 1 land hands with the Fertile Thicket, so that's super sweet. Next card is Ulamog. I'm sure you all know this is a great card. It's gonna see play. People are actually underrating every Eldrazi, I think, because getting to 10-11 mana isn't going to be that hard, I think. I think that there's going to be a lot of giant Eldrazi decks in standard. Next card is Sire of Stagnation. This card is just extremely good. It's not Consecrated Sphinx, but it's just, like overall a fantastic card. We all know it's fantastic in Commander, but I think this could see standard play as well. Drawing 2 cards every time your opponent makes a land drop, especially if they play an Eldrazi deck or something, and they're gonna need that. So I really think Sire of Stagnation is a great card. And my last honorable mention is Titan's Presence. This is a fantastic removal spell. It's gonna see tons of play, I think, and yeah, it's overall awesome, So yeah, let's go to our top 5. Okay, so coming in at number 5 is Crumble to Dust. This card is the card that I'm most sure of is gonna see play in Modern, because it's almost Sowing Salt but better, and Sowing Salt is played in different Modern sideboards, so this is just gonna see Modern play. It's confirmed, so pick up your foil copies of it, because that's gonna look sweet and they're gonna be good for Modern. So Crumble to Dust is just a better version. You exile their non-basic lands, and this could also make big waves in Standard. Because there are a lot of non-basic lands right now going around. Some are really important to strategies. Some decks I've seen being brewed contains like 16 fetch lands and just like 1 of each, or maybe like 4 of some Zendikar duel, and just getting rid of all those, that could be like a pain for your opponent. And we also have these special Haven of the Spirit Dragon lands, for example, in Dragon decks, which I'm sure it's going to be a thing as well. So getting rid of all those could be really beneficial for you. So this is a great sideboard card. I'm hyped for the card. At number 4 we have Scythe Leopard, as you can see. This card has gotten too little attention, I think. This is a fantastic card. It's not Step Links, but in some situations it's actually better. But mostly it's worse. But this is a fantastic card. This really is like the main card for like a red-green or Naya aggro landfall deck with the Snapping Gnarlid and the runner thing, I can't remember the name. But these cards are going to be absolutely awesome, I think. And especially Scythe Leopard. you know, just playing your Scythe Leopard, and then on turn 2 you crack a fetch and you swing for 3. That's 3 power for 1 mana. And as long as it gets in for like 4, 5, maybe 6 damage, it has done a fantastic job as a 1-drop. That's double Lightning Bolt. So that is super sweet. Scythe Leopard is an amazing card. You should look out for this in Standard. Number 3 is Brutal Expulsion. Brutal Expulsion is a card that has gotten some hype, but not nearly enough, I think. This card is just absolutely fantastic. I love it. It's a bounce spells for permanents and spells, but it also deals damage to creatures and planeswalkers, and it exiles. Amazing card, absolutely amazing. This does so many things, and this is gonna, for 4 mana, instant speed, devoid, this is gonna be a real player in Standard, I think. And also this could also possibly see play in some other formats. I don't think it is as good as like Electrolyze, but it is really good. This is like the Eldrazi command, you know. So I think this is a fantastic card. Number 2 is Lumbering Falls, the Manland, and especially the blue-green one. Hexproof is an amazing ability for a Manland, because not only with a Manland you animate it on your own turn, so sorcery speed removal doesn't work on them, but this also has Hexproof, and I can only imagine how hard it will be to get rid of this card as soon as this starts swinging, you know. So this is gonna be like just like an absolute blowout. If Sultai Control or something like that becomes a thing, this card is gonna be a huge player. Hexproof on a 3/3 is sweet. It's gonna chip away for damage, and this is gonna do tons of work, I think. And I think overall the Manlands are a bit underrated, underappreciated, because these are gonna, especially in Standard, these are gonna do a lot. There are gonna be players in many different decks, and oftentimes in the absent control mirrors and everything, you just see some huge mana flood. You have like 11 lands on the battlefield, but nothing else. And just having the Shambling Vent, for example, just bashing in, it's just awesome. It's gonna do tons of work. Lifelink on the Shambling Vents is also great, but especially Lumbering Falls, I think this is gonna make waves. And coming at number 1 is Drana, Liberator of Malakir. So this card, when I first looked at it, I was in shock, because this is great. I think this is gonna be like a really good card for Standard. It's like a Vampire Nighthawk but better, and Vampire Nighthawk was absolutely sick, but this has flying, first strike, and the +1/+1 counter thing. So the awesome thing is when you bash with Drana and then your other creatures, all creatures you control that doesn't have first strike, they get in later than Drana, you know. So Drana gets in first, then she puts a +1/+ counter on all of your creatures, and then they deal their damage. So that is a sick thing for a 3-drop. I mean, you have to consider this is a 3-drop. It's not going to be hard to play. You can play it early on in the game. It's going to be an absolute blowout. Only thing I'm afraid of is like how it matches up against Siege Rhino and Tasigur and all those big creatures, but still, this is just like an Offensa, but for all of your creatures. So this card, I think this card is absolutely amazing. I think it's gonna see tons of play in both aggro decks, mid-range decks, with lots of creatures in different colors, different color combinations, and it's just an overall awesome card. So yeah, those were my top 5 cards from Battle for Zendikar. I hope you liked this video. If you want me to do more of these, maybe for Commander, maybe for Modern, I don't even know, with the other sets, top 5 lands, I don't even know, just crazy top videos, be sure to let me know. This was pretty fun to make, I gotta admit, and I hope you liked my top 5. This is just my opinion. Yours might differ, but that's no problem. We're all different, you know. But these are cards I think that's gonna be really good in Standard, and crumble to dust for Modern as well. So yeah, I hope you like this video. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!